Okay guys, so today I'm just going to do the rust in the boot of the car. I've been putting this off for a while, but it's got to get done. It's one of the bigger jobs that I'm able to do here with these tools. So I just want to get it over and done with while it's a nice cool day. So we've got some sandpaper, some fine grit and some thick grit. And we have a spanner to disconnect the battery while we're doing this, and a wire brush. We've also got a sanding block, masking tape, newspaper, isopropyl alcohol to prep the area and clean. Got the rust converter as well after we sand down the rust. Okay, just stop it from spreading further there. And some metal primer. This will seal it all off. Alright. And just some basic stuff to clean up afterwards as well. Sponge, this for spraying, latex glove, and this just to wipe up any other mess. Okay, it's important to have it all clean. So next we'll go out and get the trunk cleared out and prepped, ready for rust repair hopefully. Catches in a tick. Thank you. So today's warm-up day for the car until it gets registered. So yeah, we're just going to clean out the boot while it's out here. Just like to reverse it out and then back in, just to give the brakes a bit of a work. So yeah, we've just got to clear out the boot here. Alright, so let's get to it. All this has got to come out. Alrighty. Okay, you seem to be held down with clips, but I think I can just mask over that. Here's the rust you can see. It's not much, but yeah, we've got to get rid of it now. This I'm going to have to peel off or something. I'm not quite sure what we can do about that. The rest is reasonably easy to fix. Maybe chisel this out or something. Alright guys, we'll be back once it's all masked up. Give these a wash and a clean. Okay guys, well we're back. Unfortunately the battery went flat there. I had to go down to the store and just get a drill. Just use this with the stone cutter type here just to get into the heavy rust. And heavy sandpaper and some wear and tear on the block here. You can see what we've got done here now. We've got most of the spots around the drain plugs done. Just got to give it a bit of a vacuum, it's just dirty right now. I've done most of the boot. I want to put an actual spare in here soon, so I don't want to actually rip off all of this, but I've gotten as much off as I can to get around the bracket there. Other than that, we'll just do a little bit more cleaning, vacuum, then we'll prep it. And tonight we'll do the rust converter coat, and tomorrow the primer, and that'll be it. Alright guys, back to it. Okay guys, so next we've got the rust converter. I've used isopropyl alcohol, cleaned it all out, sanded everything, just kind of blocked up this buffer thing here, whatever this is, just so it doesn't get really too much paint on it. I've got to get it all taken off and replaced eventually when they can do it properly. But that's really hard to move, it's like a bitumen glue. It's really impressive. So I've stuck some paper in down here to protect overspray from going inside. So we're just going to lightly feather around the edges and we're going to go through it, so here we go. Okay, next coat, supposed to do one every 3 minutes and leave it for 20. I might leave it overnight and do the primer tomorrow morning. It's going to be hot, so I'll do it early. I've got to get away with it. Had a couple of air bubbles, but again, this is just a stopgap. So someone else can professionally paint this. So while I'm waiting, I used some of this Meguiar's Gold Class trim detail. I really like this, it works crazy. So I've used this to put on the floats. Ouch. Almost on the fresh paint, so there you go. Also make sure it's completely dry in the groove where the metal sits, otherwise you're going to get rust. You're going to promote it there anyway, so I've put the detailer in here and cleaned it all up. I'll just let it soak for a bit. I know you won't be able to see it, but it's just nice to have them all clean, not introducing foreign particles. They came out really good, there's no damage to them at all. Yeah, but just make sure they're completely dry. Let's let these soak overnight too. When everything's dry, we'll put them back in. Hopefully it seals watertight. Yeah, so there's the two rubbers. All nice and reconditioned. Okay guys, while we're waiting for that to go, I took off some of the strut bolts. These are oxidized. So we'll give these a polish while we're waiting around for the rest to dry. So we'll give these a bit of a polish while that's drying, then we'll give it another coat and we'll leave it overnight and catch up with it tomorrow. Cheers. Pretty much done, I think. That's the rust converter sprayed. Actually looks pretty nice, but I've got to put a primer over it anyway still, just to give extra protection. But it's turned out really well, so we're just going to leave this overnight. Maybe a couple of hours, just we'll see what happens, and then we'll put some primer over it. It's done. Cheers. Okay, guys, just an update. Just waited for my drill to charge, and yeah, been polishing these. They come out really well. Check that out. And by comparison, I've started polishing this one as well. I've polished the top, but you can see the edges, just the difference there. So the other ones are done. I'll go put these back on the strut bar shortly. Cheers. Okay guys, it's day 2. I'm paying for yesterday now. Everything hurts. Very sore. But we have a look here. I put on the new shiny bolts last night. They really popped up. I've taken these off last night. I'm going to go polish these today. And that'll be all done. Start matching up. Okay, while we're waiting for the paint to go, we'll finish up this. Okay. I've remasked the back here so it just looks a little bit nicer once we finish it. Okay, but yeah, that came out really good. Nice and dry. I'm almost tempted to leave it like that, but needs an extra bit of protection, I think. So next is the primer. Okay, so we'll start doing some coats of this, and then we'll use this nice charge from last night, and we'll do some polishing in between sprays. Alright guys, let's get to it. Okay guys, almost done with the final undercoat here for the primer. I'll take this off too just to make it finish a little bit nicer there. Yeah, it's looking good. Probably another 2 or 3 coats, and then we'll just let it drive overnight, and then we'll put in the plugs and then put everything back in and it'll be done. So I can get a professional look at it. But while we're doing this, I have finished the door jambs, polished up like jewels. I'll take those off in a minute so you can see this one, and I think I've shown this one before, but yeah, and that's the other door jambs. So I'll take those off, they're all done. And I'll have a sit down now and finish these bolts here. Yeah, maybe grab a coffee first. Thanks, cheers. Okay guys, well, we've left it overnight and it's nice and dry, so it's time to take it all off and put it all back together. Alrighty, just give me a tick. There we go, all finished. Rust all done until I can get it properly done by an actual repairer, and I'll get it all done body colour, as I said, once it's all properly resprayed. This is the last part of getting the boot done. While I was waiting for all that to dry, I was polishing some bolts, if you remember, and these are the last ones of the factory strut bar. So yeah, give these a polish. I've got the drill, I've got the auto saw, I've got some gloves because I was just making a massive mess, and cleaning my hands every 5 seconds was getting annoying. And a little bit of sandpaper and some toothpicks just to pick out some detail if I need to, of residue or whatnot. So use these tools. These are about $5 for this little pack, but I've gone through most of them now with the door strikers. But yeah, they held up pretty well. So yeah, I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Cheers guys. Okay guys, we're done. Just a little hint, if you want to save some time, just get yourself one of these wire brushes. I tried using these flat edge files to get into some of the edges here to smooth them out. Yeah, just basically try and polish them out. But yeah, it's just much easier to give them a prep, basically, is what you're doing with this wire brush. It really kicked ass. Wasn't sure how well it's going to work. But yeah, it really did a good job. Especially these, which aren't really meant to be polished or be anything special. But yeah, they look a lot nicer now. They had a lot of Loctite residue on them, so it took a while to clean off, but the wire brush saved a hell of a lot of time. I should have done that first. But yeah, these look good. I'll go put these in the car now and show you what they look like. Thanks guys. Okay guys, and there we had it. See in the back there, I've put the polished bolts back on. It looks really nice. Complements these. Batteries back on, so I'll just start the car, make sure everything's fine. And I also used a bit of steel wool just to give these a little bit of a clean, and these pipings down here, the aluminium ones, just to make them pop a little bit. Yeah, that'll do for now, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks guys.